we knew that we could plug in here and have the level 1 charging whilst we stayed for the weekend and did other activities. So that's going to take its sweet time, but who cares if you're just parked anyway. That's saving you going to a fast charger. That's getting the juice trickled in there. Holiday weekend, a break to the countryside, and no problem doing it all electric.
Efficiency means that producing drugs and vaccines is more costly for the pharma companies.
And since the pharma company
started up first attempt on number 2, 49 kilowatts. another one. Started right up on unit 2. Slow though. Squeaking in under 11 hours then. Got in about 11:30. Nudged up in the last 10 to 20 miles to 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour. That was pretty steady, 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour for a lot of the interstate driving into Pennsylvania. We left Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania with about 200 miles or so, and here we are with 36 miles left, so did pretty well in the end. And those final numbers, 137 kilowatt hours used to go 516 miles in a little bit under 11 hours. 97% driving and accessories in the end, 3% climate settings. That dipped away towards the end there. Now that you can see the temperature has dropped down to more comfortable around 70 degrees Fahrenheit for the last little bit. That's okay. We're going to plug in trickle charge over the long weekend, and that either gives us enough to get a good long stint in, or we can drive down to one of the local Electrify America stations and fast charge there. So we'll see how much we get, but out into the countryside, ready for bed, and then a good getaway for a holiday weekend. Got some trickle charging in overnight, and again just leaving it sitting here, trickling through to be ready for when we need to leave back for Boston. So we arrived in with 14% last night, trickled up here to 35%, and there's the stats over from Boston, Massachusetts to around the Allegheny National Forest, Pennsylvania wilds. I'm not entirely sure what this area is classified as. Used a lot of climate settings on the way down. It was running probably 75-80% of the time until we got into the evening time when the temperatures dropped to more comfortable levels. So that was running pretty regularly. It was at 5%, then 4%, and dropped down finally to 3% as we arrived. Definitely AC is much less hungry on the power than winter heating. Range number will be much closer to probably 200 by the time we finish the weekend here, so we'll be ready to go, drive a good long way back to Boston. There we go, 97% charged over the couple of days for the weekend. Still getting the last bit of juice, but looking good. We've only got 160 miles to go, so that is a pleasant place to be. So that was a decent 160 mile stint from Brookville, Pennsylvania. So we just made that with 50 odd miles to spare. So we had the easily 200 miles, maybe 210 on that charge, and the highway speeds were very, very good. High speeds took the toll down to 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour after we'd bumped up to 3.8 in the slower roads, but that is still very good efficiency. We've had the aircon blowing the whole way, light on just on 2 at 74 degrees, and these things started right up. So the only room for complaint, if you want any, is 43 kilowatts, about the same as we saw when we arrived and came through on the way in. See how long this takes. Got in about 4:55, and we'll see when we can get on the road again. Oh dear, okay, next plug. Okay, well, I'm still counting that as perfect if it starts. Just having to use a different plug's no big deal, right? Both of these show on. All of these are on. All looks good to me. Well, if that gives us enough to get home, then that's 100% success for Electrify America on this trip. Let's see if it stays going. I will accept any criticism of my poor charging technique. Charging to 90%. But we had sit-down meal, and we have the mileage hopefully we need to avoid an extra charge stop on the way home. So you can see very high. Obviously this isn't what you want to do for a regular quick stop, but for a sit-down meal where we just leisurely ate and came back, we hopefully now have the mileage to get back without stopping off again. So shut it off. that shows the difference in the stops, you know. 45 minutes into the Bloomsburg stop, we were bored, waiting for the car. 75 minutes into this, perfect timing for the mileage we need and to leave. There we go then, final trip stats. I'll put the percentage up on the screen here. I did chicken out. We had one last quick 5-minute top up at the last services on the Mass Pike, just because we were about 8 or 9 miles plus the distance that we had to go to home. So rather than chance it and run out, we stopped in, had a pee break and got juiced up to the tune of 2.7 kilowatt hours. 2 or 3%, and had enough to get home without flashing low or propulsion reduced. But here we go, squeezing in just before 1 AM. I think we left at sometime after 2. I'll have to check 2 PM. So we've done this at over 10 hours. We have 98% driving and accessories, 2% in the end climate settings, very low draw on the AC, and didn't need to use it once it got dark and cooled off. So very easy on the energy use when you're in summer and just have light air conditioning on. So that's where we are, back home, ready for bed. Another 1,000 miles in the bag, no problems at all, pretty much on our own terms, and this vehicle just gets more and more capable. Also, thumbs up to Electrify America, who had basically 100% success rate on this one. Nice work.